The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey, everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and I'll tell you, we want to help you with your taxes. And if you're like so many of the people that we've seen, you go, oh, this is really not good. A lot of unhappy people, so we want to talk about today some of the things that we've seen as the tax season's progressed, how to change your W-4, should you change your W-4, what is a W-4, and we want to hear what you have to say. 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone, and our text number is 3930 if you want to text us in a comment. But I will tell you, and I have Tiffany Fabian with me. Hey, Tiff.
Hey there, Esther. Happy Saturday.
Yeah, that's great. And okay, and tomorrow's high wind, so make sure that I know we've battened down all of our garbage cans.
Right.
And we certainly don't want things blowing away. So make sure that you batten down your stuff because it's supposed to be windy tomorrow. I hope, the weatherman's usually wrong. I hope he's wrong today. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax. We have 32 area offices to serve you. Our hours of operation are 9 to 9 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. And our mall, I think the mall is going to be open tomorrow, McKinley.
Right. McKinley, as long as it's not blown away, it'll
all right.
be open.
And if you have something to say, if you've been bitten by the tax man this year and you were really disappointed, I know that yesterday I was on BEN. I was talking to Susan about what I'm doing in my office. I have soothing music playing because people come in so stressed because they think they're not going to get a refund or a much lower refund. And yesterday, last night, I had a couple that came in, and their normal refund was like $6,000. They didn't know that they got the extra money during the year. At least they didn't think about it, and they decided that the soothing music wasn't enough. That I really needed to put a bar in the corner of my office because to take the pressure off.
They like the music, but you should have upgraded it a little bit. Yeah.
All right. So again, EG Tax 803-0930. 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. We want to talk about being married is not a very good thing for your tax return.
Right. Well, yeah, it's so funny. When we first had the rollout of the tax reform, you said, well, gee, maybe you and Chris should get a divorce because you could see where it was going.
I'll tell you.
And then you're like, well, that sort of messes with your head, though.
But it does. Give you an instance. Let's say that there's a couple living together and they have children. Mm-hmm. And let's say he has the higher income. So he, under the law, can file head of the household if he's maintaining the household for his child. He gets a standard deduction of $18,000.
Correct.
She files a tax return by herself and gets a standard deduction of $12,000. So they get $30,000 living in sin. A married couple would get $24,000.
Wow.
So this couple, and I'm living in sin. Everybody lives in sin anymore, but this couple gets the benefit of $6,000 in write-offs that somebody else wouldn't. That's one example of the marriage penalty.
Right. That's very. Wow. Whereas and then the married couple, they have that SALT to deal with, which is really gulp.
All right, and then the state and local tax limitation. If you're married filing a joint return, they limit it to $10,000. That's it. You pay $80,000 in tax. It doesn't make $10,000. But if you were married separate, if you were single, if there was two singles that own a house, that this one gets 10 and this one gets 10. They're not limited.
Right.
Which
is not fair in my opinion.
Oh my
it really
gosh.
leaves me with it. I'm really
and then
jilted,
I had a couple that came in today. Last year she got a $7,000 earned income credit because if a single person who maintains a house for a child that lives in their home, they get, and their income, let's say, is under 40.
Right.
They get a gigantic earned income credit. That's money that the federal government sends you because you're poor. Well, your friend, maybe it's not the father of the kids, just your friend living with you, might make another $50,000, $60,000. You get the earned income credit the minute they get married. No earned income credit.
Yep. It really will make you feel jilted. It really, it's been really hard for me to wrap. I guess one of the things is that, Governor Cuomo says that people are leaving New York State like crazy. And that's because, Esther, we pay a lot
of taxes,
of property taxes, a lot in property taxes. And so somebody who pays $11,000 in property taxes won't, and they're a decently middle of the road income earner, they won't get to deduct any of their property taxes, essentially.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so another example of the marriage penalty. And again, I'm Esther Gillius, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. So we got the SALT, then just like the traditional IRA deductibility, if you're a married couple, you cannot deduct your IRA if your income exceeds $101,000. But if you're single, you can go to 126. So two singles, passive loss phase out on rental property. $150,000 if you're married filing a joint return. If there were two singles, it would go to $300,000. I mean, it's just it makes you wonder what the federal government thinks about marriage, Yeah. So some of the things are equal, like they make sure they just double it. But the code is replete with things that benefit single people living together over a married couple.
Yeah, I have many clients, and they just simply don't get married this is prior, because for funding for their kids for student loans, EIC, things like that. And so the story is even worse under the new reform.
And then I'll have this lovely couple sitting in front of me, and she's got an engagement ring. Isn't that great? And I think to myself, oh, my God, they're going to pay more taxes.
I know. Yep. I think the same thing.
You realize, honey, that your earned income credit's going away.
Right.
And then they say, well, can't you just make us be the way you can't be lying?
No.
Anyway, I'm Esther Gillius, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone. We would love to hear what you have to say. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back on the other side. Hey, I'm Esther Gillius, the tax lady, and I guess I'm just a little miffed today because when I think about a subject that I want to talk about, when I see hardworking families and I see them getting shafted, it is just terrible to see this SALT cap. It is a terrible thing. But obviously, then in the tax code, it's just better to be single than married, and it just I just think that's the wrong message.
Oh, yeah. I say to clients, it's, you're a hardworking person. Maybe you went to college. Maybe you learned a trade and you're making pretty good money. And that's who we're going to knock off at the knees.
That's for sure. Okay, let's see. We got Miss Tiffany. Are you working out of the Colvin location? Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, and it says that we're really great.
You
that's
guys are great. Thank you for everything you do. Blessings. Yes,
that's
I'm hanging out at the new Colvin office.
And if you've been there, it is a really great place. It's such a blessing.
It's a blessing.
It is. All right, let's go to Henry, who's been waiting for so long. Mr. Henry, how can we help you?
Yes, this concerns New York State IT2. I have two questions. First of all, is that a new form, a new requirement?
No, it's been around for a while.
My second question is, I have one W-2 from an employer, and I have a few W-2Gs. I put those all on that form.
So the IT-22 is the summary of the W-2s.
Right. And that's for summary of W-2s. A W-2G is not a W-2. W-2 means it's income from wages.
Okay.
So the gambling winnings would
not
have to
go
on
there.
No. Henry, the gambling winnings don't have to go on that.
A W-2G from gambling?
Does not go on the Schedule 2 is for W-2s, for wages. The W-2G is for gambling.
Yes, so that would not go on that form.
That's correct.
Correct. Correct. And then don't forget for your gamblings this year, you can also put your losses potentially as an itemized deduction and your transportation too. So the hotels, if you took a train, if
That's
you took
if
a
you
plane.
didn't, if you had more winnings than losing.
Yeah, I'm better off taking the standard.
Okay, Henry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
My pleasure.
I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. And we got Jean. Hey, Jean, how can we help you?
I get it. That's funny.
Taking my call.
Yeah.
I have an S Corp,
Okay.
and I usually file the 1120 S form with Schedule K, and I'm trying to figure out how to take the qualified business income deduction.
Okay, well, on your K1, you're going to, the net profit is what the qualified business deduction would be tied to. So on the K1 at the bottom, way down there, I think it's like on line 17, there's a 199 income where it says 199 income, and that would be the net profit from qualified business income, and you'd put it in there.
Okay, that's what it seems to indicate. But does that before this year, my net income I would put in box 1.
Well, you do put it in box 1.
Okay.
So you see, there's two things, Gene.
Right.
On your 1120S, box 1, line 1 is your net profit from your business. Okay. But now, in addition to the net profit that's going to be taxed, you get a qualified business deduction if your income is under $157,500 and you don't have any, and it's not one of those specific businesses. You would get a 20% deduction for the 199, which is the qualified business expense. So that you got the income on line 1, the qualified business expense on another place on the tax return.
That's on that line 17.
Right. On the K1, yeah.
K1 17, and then somehow that gets transferred to the Schedule 1 on my personal.
That's exactly right.
Hey, thanks a lot, Esther.
All right, you're welcome, Gene. Bye-bye.
There's a text. Should I go to it? It's
Yeah.
a long text. That texter starts off, but I'd rather pay a little bit more money in tax and burn in eternity. But also, we're married. I grossed $88K. She stays at home, has no income. As a single paycheck home, do you think it might be better to file married single? We always did joint before, no kids, no college.
No, most of the time it's going to be because there's nothing, if she's really a stay-at-home mom person, then there's nothing that you're going to shelter. And so married separate, you can't be married single. Married filing separate, if there is, especially like, for instance, I had a couple here today. He made, let's say, $20,000. She made $60,000. So when I did the Schedule A,
state income tax,
her state withholding was, and they're limited, married separate to $5,000 under SALT, right? So her state withholding was already at that $5,000. So I gave him
all the property
taxes.
Yep.
And that worked out.
But now in this case, the taxer, she has no income tax from wages, and so
that
it would do
wouldn't-
no
right,
good.
it wouldn't.
She's almost like a big help to you on your
Right.
return.
As a matter of fact, well, she's not a big help anymore because you get nothing for a spouse.
Yeah.
You get nothing for a spouse.
You're right.
No $500 for them. No standard. No personal exemption. You get nothing for a spouse. Right?
But separate would not be better in your
No.
instance. Yep. But I do agree with you. I would rather be married.
Right.
Yeah. And then we're going to go to Jeff or Greg.
Hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. And we got Jeff. Hey, Jeff. How can we help you?
Oh, hi, Esther. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're from New York.
received some income. I'm retired
Yeah, but you're from New York.
in a couple of years, and I received some income from non-qualified stock options.
Sure.
And I'm wondering if I can contribute to an IRA based on that
No.
income.
No. You have to have wages or self-employment income. You can't use stock as a basis for contributing to an IRA.
Now,
you can,
if your wife has any wages,
Right.
you could do a spousal IRA.
Right.
Does your wife have any wages?
No, we're all set with that.
okay. Hey, thanks for calling, Jeff.
Another
Yeah.
question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is, this is about the new tax law and the impact of it.
Yeah.
in the past, we've paid alternative minimum tax.
Right.
And the state income taxes and property taxes, anything that was over the standard deduction, we wound up paying taxes on it anyway,
right,
because of the
AMT.
The AMT. Now, generally speaking, I guess, who are the people who are going to be impacted by this new limitation on state tax?
Well, I think you ask a really good question. I think that there'll be less AMT, and Esther, correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, and they'll get an AMT credit.
Because of the, they'll get
a credit for AMT they've paid in the past, too.
Yeah, because of the 2106, the miscellaneous
right.
expenses
it's
at the
gone.
bottom are gone, so you'll see less AMT.
And if you paid
reform.
AMT in the past, you'll be qualified for the potential alternative minimum tax credit for taxes that you paid in the past. So you want to watch out for that too, Jeff.
Okay.
You raised a really good question, Jeff. Yeah.
Okay.
Much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Good question.
Bye-bye. I'm Esther Goulias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone. I guess what it's just really a whole different can of worms. Just a whole different can of worms. And with that in mind, I thought one of the...
And I got to...
yes,
sorry, stepping on you.
No, you didn't step
Another
on me.
thing is that people are getting less of a refund, but I'll show them. Look at your withholdings. I just showed somebody. I said, your withholdings last year were $16,000, and this year you made about the same, and your withholdings were $11,900, so they were a lot less. No, they weren't. I mean...
Yeah,
people
well,
just
it's
don't
interesting.
get it.
I had one that went from $24,000 to $16,000.
Right.
Now their refund went down a little bit, but $16,000 to $24,000. That's
huge.
like a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody that is disappointed in your refund, first of all, you have to say to yourself, do I really want, okay, so I got a $2,000 refund, and before I got a $5,000. You have to realize that extra $3,000 was money you sent to the federal government that they weren't entitled to. And then at the end of the year, you file the tax return and you say, please pay me back. Please pay me back. Well, you are in control of that. You can control it through your W-4. Now, if right now you got a nice refund, you're not tight, don't have a balance due, you have to really have a long conversation with yourself and say, gee, do I really want to go back to sending them an extra couple $100 a month?
Right.
Because that's money that you don't have. But if you find yourself tight, like if you were over-the-road trucker and you used to get $3,000 and now you owe $2,000, what you want to do is go to your employer and change your W-4. So if you're an employee, you change their W-4. And the more allowances you claim, the less they take out. So you want to reduce your allowances. And really, sometimes it's good to start off at zero and take a look if that's going to hit your target.
Yeah.
If you're retired, you fill out a W-4P for pensions. If you are somebody that's on Social Security and you find out that your Social Security is 85% taxable and you find yourself that kind of bit you in the butt this year, you might want to do a W-4V for voluntary withholding on your Social Security. And again, EG Tax will help you. You can email us and we'll help you walk through it.
And another thing is make sure you're putting as much as you can into your 401k because that'll also help the answer at the end of the year.
And the other thing is you can still put money into, I had another couple here, and I know I got calls. I want to tell my story. So I had a couple that was in 2 days ago. They had a liability. And next year, and he was working. So, but they had a tight year. They took money out of their pension plan.
Right.
Okay, and they didn't take any withholding. So, so next year he's retired. And I said, well, why don't you just max out your IRA and put $13,000 away?
Yeah.
And so they said, but we were going to do a driveway. And I said, but you can put the 13 in, and if you need the money this year, you can take it out. And that means next year you pay the taxes. And they said, oh. And I said, and next year, since you have no money, and you put the 13 in this year, and next year you take the 13 out, it's going to be free.
Right.
And they said, oh.
Yep.
So there are ways around it, but you have to know what the heck you're doing, right?
You do.
Okay, let's go to the phones. Greg has waited so long. Hi, Greg. How can we help you?
Hi, thank you for making time to any of our questions.
Sure.
We do appreciate it. I'm doing my son's taxes.
Yeah.
But And this year, he just started working a regular job. So he has a W-2, and he received from his previous employee a 1099 miscellaneous form.
All right.
Okay, with the miscellaneous form came a note that he is exempt from paying FICA taxes on it.
Why?
Because they contract to work. He goes to a program at the ARC.
Oh, I know what that is. He goes to the program for the ARC. So is it in box 3 or box 7 on the 1099?
No, it's in box 3.
That's other income. It's not 7. So that would
That's
go
good.
on.
All right.
Good.
So when you get a 1099, it's
go.
not always subject
Break.
to self-employment. I guess we got to shut up. You know what, Greg? Hang on. We're going to break for news. Can you hang on? Can you hang on, Greg? All right. Thanks. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady. We'll see you on the other side.
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen.
Well, that's mellow. We like that, Frank. Frank is a mellow man. All right, we're going to go back to Greg. Hey, Greg, thanks for waiting. All right, not all income on a 1099 is subject to self-employment tax. So that extra income that your son has is going to go, was line 21, under other income. So it's not subject to FICA. If it was in the self-employment portion of the 1099, then you have to do a Schedule SE on the net profit. So you're good to go.
Okay, so just enter it in as
Right now, how much money did he make, Greg?
he, just under $4,000 on his W-2.
All right, so he's going to get back his whole withholding on the federal. He might owe a little bit on the state.
Right, and he made almost, well, that was on the W-2. Then he made almost $1,700 on this.
Yeah, but he'll still up to $12,000. He's good.
On the federal.
So just enter it as other income.
Right, other income.
When they say enter it where it says 1099 miscellaneous.
Well, be careful, because if you're using a tax program, it might take it right to the SE. So you got to be really careful. Don't use, just enter it as other income.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, awesome.
All right. Sorry, Greg, that couldn't be sitting there with you in your dining room helping you. So, okay, thanks for calling.
You for your
And
All right,
it's hard.
bye-bye.
It's a new form. It's
Well,
hard.
I mean, the
hard to-
tax form is weird.
It's very
I mean,
weird.
this is over here
I
and
call
that's
them
over
satellite
there, and
planets.
you got the credits over there,
very
and it
weird.
is so stupid. Anyway, we're going to go back to the phones and we talk to Sarah. Hey, Sarah, how can we help you?
Yeah, I had a question. If I made $22,000 and I want to contribute to my Roth $6,500 and also my husband $6,500, would there be a red flag that goes off to the IRS?
No. Why would there?
Well, you have to record it.
First of all, it's very interesting. I heard several comments today about red flags. There really isn't any red flags. They just process a return. It's all computers that process a return. The Roth is not deductible, so there's no way they would even know that you contributed to the Roth until later on when that accounting form goes in. But if you make $22,000 in wages, you're and there's no other source of income. Just this is it. Just the wages.
Yep.
Put it in your Roth. But why do you want to put it in a Roth? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. I guess because I don't know, because when I go to take it out, I don't have to pay taxes on it.
Okay. And of course, at $22,000, you're not going to pay taxes on it anyway. So if you want to just load it up, that's not a bad idea. So you can put your $13,000 away, and it'll grow tax-free.
Yeah, but keep in mind what Esther's saying is a really good point. You're paying taxes up front right now for
No,
that.
she won her standard deduction $24,000. She's making $22,000.
But her husband's making money too.
No, he doesn't. Does he, Sarah?
Did my husband?
Pardon me?
That's all. That's included.
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's not going to pay taxes anyway.
But on New
so
York,
yeah,
how
if
about
you
New
want to
York?
use a strategy for growing tax-free income, you're not going to pay taxes anyway. So just load it up.
But New York, they could have saved a little bit on New York.
Yeah, a little bit on. I mean, it's not enough to.
Yeah.
Would what would you do? Would you do the Roth or would you do?
No, I would not. If I was investing it, if I want to just invest it and have it grow tax free, the Roth is great. Okay, but then you have to understand that your income growth is tax free, provided you have to. There's restrictions. You have to be 59 and a half, and it has to be in there for 5 years. But if you got $13,000 extra, you could also just put it into investments, which won't be necessarily tax-free, but then you have the freedom to move around. You have to decide your own financial ramifications, whether you would need it and you want it to be liquid. Because let's say you're 40 years old or 50 years old, and you think, well, I don't really want to keep it in the Roth till I'm 59 and a half,
Right.
So you have to look at that. But aside from that, if you're just somebody that's a good saver, planner, a Roth is great in this situation because you're not paying taxes anyway.
Okay. What is your phone number in case we want you guys to do our taxes this year?
632-7886.
7886.
Right. That's our corporate headquarters.
Okay. And do you charge depending on how you file?
No, we charge based upon the complexity. So I will tell you, Sarah, if this is your only income, did you have withholding?
Well, I own my own business. I have a small little business.
Okay. All right. Well,
So it would be about $120, sounds like.
it depends on how small our business is.
Yeah.
Probably around 100 to do it.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Thanks, Sarah.
We'll take good
Bye-bye.
care of you. I gotta
All right.
put that
Let's
in.
see. We got, where am I at? Okay. We got Fran and Clarence. Hi, Fran. How can we help you?
Hello there. We are a family of 5.
Okay.
I know the standard deduction for the family is like $24,000 change. If our charitable contribution was more than that, does that mean that the standard deduction for the family is no longer in play? It's just the
Right. There are lots of people itemizing, especially single people, because the standard deduction is $12,000, and let's face it, they really single people make out. But anyway. You got a $24,000 standard deduction. If your charity's $24,000, and then you got property taxes of $5,000, and you got mortgage interest of $3,000, you save more by itemizing.
Well, I guess my point is there's no double dipping. You don't get the standard deduction.
No.
Oh, no.
But it's too bad that they don't, because they lose all those personal exemptions. So it's too bad that they don't.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. No, you don't, Fran. But it isn't.
Yes, but you'd
correct in
itemize.
my-
It's either the standard deduction or your itemized deductions.
Was it like that in years past?
No, sir.
Okay.
You itemized and you
Well,
got the
yeah, it was
personal
standard deduction or itemized deduction, but it was also personal exemption. So
He said 5.
you got with the 5, you would have gotten like $22,000 in personal exemption and $12,000 in standard deduction, 12.6. So you would have gotten 34.6 in the past.
and now
now
if you-
you're getting 24,000.
But if you have kids under the age of 17, your child tax credit has gone up
Right.
to $2,000.
And let me ask you, your family of 5 is comprised of kids under 17?
3 of them, yes.
Okay, so you got $6,000 in child tax credits.
Which used to be 3.
Right.
Points there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
And once the child turns 17,
Too bad, too sad. You lose the 2,000, but you get
a
500.
working, when he starts working, then he files his own. He doesn't.
No, but you still claim them. See, a lot of people don't realize that you can claim your child as long as up to age 19, regardless of income, if you're still providing more than half of their support. All right? Then once they're 19, then they have to go to school full-time, at least 5 months out of the year or more, and up to age 24, as long as they're full-time students, provided that you're still providing more than 50% of their total support. And they can make money. Their standard deduction is $12,000, so your kid can make $8,000 working at Burger King, and they're going to get all their money back on the federal. They're going to owe something on New York State, but they're going to get all their money back on the federal, and you get to claim them too, and you get a $500 family credit for
and
that.
then they file their own return
Right.
indicating that they're
So
dependent
you
on
claim
your
them,
return.
and they claim and they don't claim themselves, but they get the standard deduction. Their wages up to $12,000
And then where does their W-2 go? With mine?
with theirs.
They file their own return
Right,
and indicate
it goes with
that
theirs.
they're a dependent on yours.
And by the way, if you're listening and you've included your kid's W-2 on your tax return, they're not going to call you up and tell you messed up. They're just going to let you pay the taxes. The kid's W-2 goes with the kid, and your W-2s go with you.
And you still claim them usually.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Let's see. We got here? We got Dennis. Hey, Dennis, how can we help you?
Hi, Esther.
Hi.
I'm working on my taxes today, and I'm looking at this foreign tax credit form 1116.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Turns out I had $621 in foreign tax paid, and it looks like I have to fill that form.
Yeah, you don't get to use the simplified method
Right.
when it's
you
600.
got to use the 1116.
You got to use the whole entire form.
Right. But you want to do it. I mean, it's in your best interest to get the foreign tax credit.
Well, yeah, when I went through the form, though, it turns out if I would have been under $600, I could have taken whatever.
Yeah, but so how much did you say your foreign taxes were?
$621.
So if you don't do the form, you're going to pay $621 extra. I mean, I want to tell you, for $621, I'd do the form.
Well, it turns out at the end of the form, when I got to the last line there to put it over on my
1040,
Mm-hmm.
it only amounted to $77.
Well, I think you did the form wrong.
Does he not have any liability?
I mean, yeah. Do you not have a tax liability?
Where?
All right. So, how much money do you make, Dennis?
Well, I had a good year, so
Just give me a ballpark.
just under 200.
Oh, then
wow.
you've done it wrong, probably.
Yeah, you've done it wrong. You're not doing your own taxes if you made $200,000, are you, Dennis?
Yes.
What?
That's how he made $200,000.
Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think so, Dennis. Well, I mean, break down and use a tax program at least, you know?
Well, I can do that, but
I mean, Dennis, it's all, you look at the forms. I mean, you really need some help. You might have alternative minimum tax credits that you can get.
You might use the Schedule D to
But
figure
maybe you
out
make
your
so much
tax
money you don't care if you overpay.
You might use the Schedule D to figure out your tax computation. Do you use the Schedule D to figure out your tax computation?
yes.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
You're not using pen and pencil. You're not writing it out, are you, Dennis?
I am, actually.
You used to do that, Esther.
Well, my gosh, many years ago, I used to have a lump on my finger from writing it longhand. But anyway, Dan, I can't tell you what to do except that I think that you're being penny wise and pound foolish.
Well,
I know. Well, that whatever.
Okay.
But anyway, Dan, hey, thanks for calling.
Bye, Dan.
Bye-bye.
Call if you need
let's
me.
see.
I'm
We
at the
got.
office. There's a few texts. One of them says, here's a nice text for you guys. After going somewhere else for years, I went to EG Tax and paid less and got more. True story.
Isn't
And
that
then,
nice?
hi, Esther, basic question. What is the difference between a 401k and an IRA?
Okay, so a 401k is a qualified pension plan that the employer sets up for you. It's as an employee, where there are very stringent restrictions as to how the thing has to be. It has to be what you can put in, what they have to put in, so there's not highly compensated people getting benefit for it. And so it's a qualified pension plan. Now, an IRA is an individual retirement plan that you get to put into as a pension plan that you provided for yourself if you qualify, because there are restrictions as to income and things of that nature. But if you're under age 50, you can put $5,500 if you have wages or self-employment income. If you're 50 or older, you can put $6,500 away. If you have a spouse, then you can double that. And again, there's income restrictions. If you're making well over $100,000, you might have to have some limitation. But one is a qualified plan provided by the employer. The other one is one that you set up yourself. And it's very simple. You can go to the bank.
Yep. And the 401k, you can put up to $24,500 in a year if you're over the age of 50.
If you're 50 or older.
Mm-hmm. And
Right.
under is $18,500.
And I will tell you that it seems, sometimes I see some people that are so good at putting as much money as possible away. Now, you think about putting away $24,000 without paying taxes on it. It is a great plan.
Yep, really good tool.
It's, people say to me, what can I do to save money? Well, take advantage of your pension plan. And if the employer is doing a match, you're really just throwing away money.
Yep.
Okay, we got Dan. Hey, Dan, how can we help you, sir?
Yeah, I got a 1099B.
Okay.
From selling some employer stock. So it's got the bases, right? But then in the supplemental information, it has an adjusted basis based on ordinary income reported.
Because it was on your W-2.
Okay, so...
So in your W-2 was the gain on what was the stock gain. So so you take a look at their basis, and that came from the money you pay taxes on your W-2 when they gave you the stock option.
Okay.
So you're going to zero out the Schedule D.
The Schedule D.
You're going to whatever the cost was, you're going to put that as your basis. It's going to be a wash.
Assuming that you sold it right away.
Well, it's got the basis, but then it shows adjusted basis. So I put
it's the adjusted basis,
and it's in your wages,
right?
In your W-2
to the IRS.
It's the adjusted basis.
So put in the adjusted basis.
Right.
Okay.
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 All right, Dan. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax. We, if you have questions, you can go to our website at egtax.com. Ask the tax lady. You can type in your question. I ask that you not make it like a novel. That's the only ones that sometimes I get them and they give me so much information, my eyes glaze over. But if you can keep it kind of pithy, very short, I answer them right away. So you can go to our website. We'd love to help you. But I will tell you, it's like the guy with the foreign tax credit. The foreign tax, if you paid foreign taxes to a foreign country and it's on your bank, on your dividend statement, and you don't use the 1116 because you don't know how to use it, you just threw away the amount of foreign taxes you paid. So, and it's like little kids. I'll see moms and dads come in and they'll say, "Oh, Johnny didn't make much. It was just $3,000." And I'll look at the W-2 and I'll say, "We've got a $150 refund coming." One lady said, "I know you're good at taxes, but how did you figure that out?" I said, "Because the standard deduction is up to $12,000.
I know
he gets it all back.
Kids make out.
And I mean, $150 or $75,
Don't leave it there.
whatever it is. You don't want to let the federal government keep your money.
No.
Okay, let's going horse. Hey, Beth, how can we help you?
Hello there, Esther.
Hi.
I am on disability, and I recently inherited 2 homes.
Okay.
And my income from those homes is $1,000 or $1,150 per month.
Okay.
I got those in May. My total amount that I have made for the year is $19,384.
In Social Security?
Disability.
In Social Security, Beth?
Including the rent and the Social Security.
Okay. All right.
But, yeah.
Well, wait. So what's the question?
I have paid out over $6,000 in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
How can I possibly recoup any of that?
You can't. You can't. You're apples and oranges. Your income tax return requires you to pay taxes in, and you would get a refund unless you qualify for some of the little special things like earned income credit or something, or additional child tax credit, or the American Opportunity Tax Credit. But again, those are very specific situations where they actually refund you income taxes. Your property taxes are real estate taxes. Real estate taxes are not income taxes. So you cannot get your real estate taxes back through your tax return by doing anything special except by reducing your taxable income.
But you have to file a return.
No, she doesn't have to file.
You're doing the rental income.
If she does her schedule, if she did a Schedule E, and she takes her expenses, she's got no net profit, and she's got Social Security. She's not going to owe any taxes at all.
Right.
But you're not going to get anything back.
What about my health care that costs me $118 a month?
Okay. You don't owe any taxes, Beth. And so unless you qualify for the premium tax credit through the marketplace where you're actually paying more than you should pay based upon your income, you're not going to get anything. And it doesn't sound like you qualify for the premium tax credit. But then again, you may. So if you want to go to my website at egtax.com and give me all your stuff, I'll take your stuff and see if you qualify for anything. But I have to tell you the truth, I don't see how.
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
This is unfortunate.
But the blessing is you inherited 2 houses, right?
Yeah, but I'm not getting.
No, but listen to me.
Cover any.
No, but Beth, listen to me. Those houses are assets. Why don't you sell them?
I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right. So you see, when you inherit something, the fair market value on the date of the death of the person that gave it to you is your basis. So if it was worth $100,000 when they die, that means if you sell it for $100,000, you have no gain, and Beth gets $100,000 free.
No, that would be nice.
Well, just get them sold. You got a realtor on it?
I'm trying. Pardon me?
You have a good realtor helping you?
Well, I'm using Hunt.
Okay, that's good. Have you had them realistically say, is it overpriced? Is there something you need to do to improve it?
I have got in the one house probably $18,000 worth of improvements.
That you have to make?
Plumbing.
That you have to make before you can sell it?
No, they're done.
All right.
Done.
Well, all I can tell you have 2 assets that if you sell it, you aren't going to pay any taxes because you inherited it. So
okay.
Keep the faith, sweetie.
Very much, huh?
All right. Bye-bye. I'm Esther Gullius, a tax lady from EG Tax. Let's see. What else? We're going to go to Mike in Hamburg. Hey, Mike.
Hello, Esther.
How are you, sir?
Good. I got one question.
Okay.
My wife passed away in 2017.
Okay.
She owns some Prudential stock, stock in Prudential.
Uh-huh.
Last year, I was still getting the checks for the dividends.
Uh-huh.
And deposited them in our checking account. You know, it was still a joint checking account.
Sure.
And finally, last month, I finally got it transferred over to my name. Now, how do I go about claiming that on the taxes if it wasn't her name, the dividend?
Oh, no. You're saying the dividends were in her name.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you should have sent them back.
Oh, I should have.
Yeah, you should have. I mean, if they came in her name.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's too late. You already cashed the money, right, Mike?
I deposited.
Well, then I'd put it on my tax return and do the right thing.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Bye-bye.
You said it was an easy question.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
I also want to say 15 is closing this year. So if there's anything anybody needs to amend on their 15 return, make sure you do it and look at it and make sure that it was
and the
done
other
right.
thing is I did a client the other day who brand new client, and she has long-term care insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And her accountant never took it on the state.
Wow.
There's a credit on New York State for long-term care insurance. Make sure you do that too. Anyway, we want to help you. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady. If you need the best tax help for the most reasonable fees, EG Tax has 32 area offices, open 9 to 9 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. Our website is egtax.com. I'm going to run right now because I got to get back to the office. Until next week, I'm Esther Gullius. Have a great week.